What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Non-Stop Tabletop, where you always do jazz hands to start the video. All of us at the same time. Every single one of us joins together. Yes, there we go. That's no, not you at the end. Not you. Great. All right, we're nailing this so far. All right, today we're going to be talking about a somewhat of a different topic, getting off of future character packs, whatever the hell we want. Right now, we're thinking about the here and now. Last year in November, they dropped a bunch of character updates. In our heads, we'd like to think that they'd probably do that again, right? Right.
Hopefully every year.
I think they said that was sort of the plan.
Which is best case scenario. So we thought of the characters that we think should be updated. And then we're going to go ahead and share them with you now. Is that cool?
Sounds good to me.
Nick, you don't sound so sure.
Yeah, I guess we can do it.
Oh,
I don't know.
all right. Well, I always like to make sure. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. Start off with yours truly, because come on, you always gotta. We're going to start something simple. We're going to start with two very simple ones for me. I'm a simple guy, right? I like to just get in there, and I like to hack and slash and go sneak, eat, snick. So what better way to start than with our boy Wolverine? I think even day one, he was not very good on launch. Day two still wasn't very good. Now it's day like 400 or something, and I just think personally he kind of sucks. That's talking with just this Wolverine. Obviously we're gonna get a new one, and yes, I know he's not bad. I'm not saying he's bad, but the fact that he's a 4 cost and it's just like he doesn't do much. I've seen him, I've played against him a few times to know, or twice, to know that, you know, he's just there. He just kind of sits there. And like it benefits me to throw him, like, because most of the teams I run, they can throw big characters. So he's a size 3, so it actually helps me. So like it just benefits me to see him. So I don't know, just there's some stuff that's odd. I would start something small with him. Give him a charge. I'm not asking for much. He's the guy, he sprints in first. He knows exactly what he's trying to do. From what I've heard, he's the best at what he does, right?
I think so.
That's what someone says.
Okay, so I'm glad I'm not the only one here that thinks that. So just give him something simple, man. Basic charge. That's all I want. Literally, that's it. I don't think I'm asking for much. You shouldn't have X23 be infinitely better as a 3 cost. That's just stupid. So that's my
first. Like he's missing like one thing. Charge would probably be a pretty easy fix. But I don't know. He just feels like he's one thing short from being able to do what he's supposed to do.
I thought of does he have a reroll? He doesn't have rerolls, right?
And just for clarification, so you're thinking a charge that's more generic than the best at what I do?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Because the best at what I do is limited, right? Yeah, by an adamantium slash. Let me at least be able to make Berserker Barrage in there too. Yes, I know that that's why I referenced it, and that's why I should have said it too. At least give me the option of being able to have both. Then just
check his card again.
Yeah.
No, I think you don't need to change that. You can just make it cost 2 power, and then I don't know, give him the Kingpin ability to reduce damage once by spending a power or something. Or give him martial arts prowess so that he can reroll 1 attack or defense dice. Give him like something small like that to make him a little more effective offensively. Or defensively, because like he's a bruiser. He's got 7 health and he heals 2 at the end of his activation.
And his defense dice aren't bad, right? Because I have it right here.
4-3-2. So his blue defense is garbage, but his physical defense is really good. And he's got 7 health. So, you know,
he's got a pierce. Isn't bad. It's just
he's got pierce. He's got bleed. His spender is good because it only costs 3. I don't know. I really just feel like something to give him slightly more offensive pressure. Like even if he had the ability to like throw himself, that would be cool.
Yeah,
so that you can benefit from him being big.
He does like a lunge, like he lunges attacks, because the only way it really benefits him to be thrown as Colossus, because he gets the team tactics card. And I know what people are gonna say before they even hear it. Well, guys, he had a charge. Me personally, I want a more generic one, and I know the best of what I do is pretty solid, But the fact that he can't do Berserker Barrage if you do the superpowers, kind of lame. Granted, he gets the
I don't have a problem with that because he gains the extra success per wild from the best at what I do. So he gets,
Right.
yeah.
it's a 5 dice attack, but if you roll a wild, it essentially becomes 6, and it sort of escalates. Plus, it has Pierce.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Yeah,
the
so
worst.
if you roll a wild with best of what I could do, you're doing
You're
you're getting
Pierce.
2 hits, you're getting bleed,
wild.
you're getting pierce all off that one die. So
Well,
Yeah, I think he just needs a little bit more offensive pressure. I don't think he needs a better charge, especially because Berserker Barrage places him within 1 of the target, which is a really, really strong ability. Black Bolt literally has the exact same attack, except it costs 4. So that's cool. But like that ability is really strong. So I don't know. Maybe just martial arts prowess.
it's tough too because when he flips, he ends up getting significantly stronger with the whole
'cause he
wild
gets
rage, gets an extra die for each damage. So
Does he lose health on his flip side?
yeah, he
No,
goes to
up
5,
7 to 5. So he
and
doesn't
then
have
he
much
can't
of a
he
health
can't
pool.
contest, right? He can't interact
He
or
cannot
hold
contest or
objective.
hold. So
Okay, so he can contest, but he can't pick things up.
Yes,
Sure.
he basically does the same thing as Green Goblin. He goes crazy, and then nothing else goes up in value, right? See, it's just simple stuff like that, like because Green Goblin, his Pumpkin Bomb goes up by 1 power, or goes up by 1 strength on his injured side. It goes from 5 to 6. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Do the same thing for him. I don't understand why, like, back then they were afraid to like make these 4 costs so not so much better than what they are, because he's not like fantastic or anything now. And that's kind of my issue, is he's lacking in comparison to X23, and that's where I'm trying to be like, obviously I'm not the best mind to do this, but
Well, I think his real problem just lies in the fact that he's a 4 cost who exists in a game with Dr. Voodoo, and there's almost no scenario where he's as good as Brother Voodoo, even offensively. He's
No.
not that much better. I mean, his charge is pretty good, but I don't know. I think there are things that they could do to make him a little better, just like slightly more consistent. I think would just make him,
and that's going on,
making sure you're getting those pierces and bleeds and stuff.
It's just so important, which is really nice. Like I obviously I know, I think he'd be a little too good if he had his own attack rerolls. I totally get that one. I'm right there with you, but at least give him martial arts prowess or something, because guess what, guys? He has martial arts prowess in the real books. Like he trained in Japan. He's a pretty old guy. He's been around for a very long time. He knows how to handle himself and other people. So that's going to be the one that started off. Obviously, it's the weaker. It's like I think out of all of these, he's the one that needs it the least. I think everybody else here that we've said 100% needs it. Speaking of another 4 cost that you look at it now, and I can't believe this is a 4 cost. We're going to talk about Spider-Man. OG Spider-Man. This character sucks.
It's weird too, because he's got like the tools in his kit
he's
to
a
not suck.
Is he?
But
he's a 4 cost, right?
he is a 4 cost.
He's a 4.
I'm trying.
He should have 5. He should have 6 health on his front side.
There he is. Okay. Yep. Sorry. I just needed. I want to pull up all the cards like along with me. It's just like, oh my god.
He doesn't have. He's a weird one because, like Ryan said, yeah, he's got things there that are good individually, but it's just like on him, it doesn't.
Like
doesn't work as
Webapult.
well.
Why does Webapult only work on size 2?
Yeah, it's
when
If
he's
you're only throwing small, like he should be able to throw size 3 stuff. His spider sense is really good. Webline is good,
and he can move medium. No, he can move long.
maybe even large.
He can move
yeah,
large.
he moves large. Impact webbing is a solid range 4 attack that can push. That one being size 2 is fine. Taser webs is okay. I feel like if they updated this, they could give it like a wild roll to give it shock.
Yeah,
That might give him more utility. I don't know. He's like he's another character who feels like he's almost there, but he's
Yeah,
just
it's
like
just like
missing one or two things.
either that or just like bump up certain things. So like you just said, the throw, make it a size 3. Even just that, like make the character like you could do a size 3 less. Like guys, he's super strong, and you know against like in Web Warriors, you're never gonna bring OG Spider-Man. Like it's just never gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like Miles and Ghost Spider are too
Mandatory.
good, or yeah, they're pretty much mandatory.
Amazing Spider-Man
And
is
ASM
fine.
is he works better than regular Spider-Man for 1 point more, and
Yeah,
it's
his biggest
significant. It's a
problem.
significant difference. It's just like because he can fight better. He's got a little bit more tankiness to him because
Yeah.
he's mastered Spider Sense, and then
Do you guys think he would
you can put
be?
the leader ability if you want.
Do you guys think this Spider-Man would be too good as a 3 cost? Do you
Yeah,
think he'd be like a
Yeah, they
little
would need to take something away from him if they made him a 3
either that or
cost.
like bump
Yeah.
something down just to make it like a little even? Because I feel like if you make him a 3, like this Spider-Man a 3 cost, and then you bump one thing that he has down, I feel like he'd be a much better option to take
but
because
you probably have to make taser webs cost 3, make webline only work within 3.
yeah, because it
and
works with what
that
4?
would probably
Yeah.
be fine.
Because currently it's like,
But I
dude,
don't
as
know.
a 4 cost, you're never gonna bring him in anything. There's never gonna be a scenario where I would bring him over Miles Morales. There's never an instance where
Right.
I'd do that, and Spider Gwen for that matter. They both
Yeah,
do
Miles has better attacks. Ghost Spider has better
utility, and then
He's like
Amazing
the
Spider-Man
odd
is the
child
tank.
between, and yeah.
So
Yeah, they're
The only concern would be that if you made him a 3 cost, they have so many. That would make them have too many strong 3 costs, in my opinion. Because
yeah. I'd rather
he
he
is
just
almost
be
there, and
well, I feel like yeah,
Yeah.
but like Avengers has that. Avengers has too many good 3
Avengers is
costs.
the biggest team in the game.
I understand, but I'm just saying that they're always gonna sit at the top of like the bracket because they always have so much access to everything. What is a 3 cost Spider-Man really gonna do? That's
well,
just me.
I think Miles is one of the top level 3 costs, in my opinion. He's not necessarily the best, but I'm just saying like
Mhm.
he can be slotted into any
And Ghost Spider too, for that
crew
matter. The Spider Gwen's really good too.
yeah, and it's almost because he just has that Venom Blast, I think it's called, where for 3 power he forces the other character to drop whatever objective they're holding,
Oh, it's so dumb.
and there's no roll requirements or anything. You're getting a 7-die attack out of it, so that's good too. But there's been plenty of times when I've been playing it, it's like, oh yeah, I'll spend this 3 power, you drop it, and I'll pick it up and win the game almost.
Yeah.
It's like a guaranteed if you have the power. And he also has the web swinging ability, so he just ignores any objectives that reduce speed. So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's really strong like that. So that's just kind of thing. You're gonna give him another.
I
3
guess you
cost
could
that
give
would be
Spider-Man
pretty
that
solid.
this current Spider-Man. I guess you could give him like a web swing. I don't think that'd
Yeah.
be too bad, or like not like
Might
place
be
him within
too much of
3.
the same though.
I think you
Because
just I
ASM
think
has
you
that.
just need bigger numbers. That's it. I don't think he needs extra stuff. He just needs the things he's doing to be better.
What
Like
if?
overall.
So here's my last thing, and then I'll pose this to you guys. What if he gets he can reroll stuff and he can reroll skulls with his 2 dice? Would that be too much? But he only gets the
I don't
2.
see the point because Miles already lets you do that if you're
Yeah,
playing the affiliation.
Oh, because then you'd have 3. Yeah,
Yeah, if you have
he would have 3.
Miles and he can reroll
That would be a little
all the
too good.
if just contesting or whatever.
For the record, we are clearly not game designers, especially me. I just want my favorite characters to do more. Speaking of people's favorite characters wanting to do more, I hear Ryan has one of his favorite characters wanting to do more.
Yeah. So let's talk about Wasp.
Yeah, that was the one I meant. You know, yeah, we'll go with that one.
I think she really, really needs an adjustment. And honestly, the only thing I think that needs to change is 2 things. I would give her energy defense. I would put to 3 because 2 is garbage when you
That-
only have 5 health.
Yep, that was me too.
The trade-off is awful.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh, I moved my mouse. I'd probably make Stinger Blast have Pierce. I think that's all I would change about her.
Yeah, because everything else, like, same thing.
She's
and
solid.
She has stealth. She has stealth when she's tiny. She can move long. She can't interact with. She can't hold objective tokens. Okay.
She can't hold tokens, but she can contest stuff.
And she can
when
reroll.
She's tiny, she can reroll any number of defense dice, which is really good. So, like,
I feel like my problem is the normal size. I feel like the normal size is just doesn't do anything to me personally.
She can throw stuff. Her builder's okay. It's not very good, but it's fine. Like, I don't know. Yeah. She moves long when she's small, but medium when she's normal. Maybe if she just standardly moved large, that would fix some of her problems too.
Yeah, because she already has that drawback in tiny form where she can't hold objectives anyway. So I don't really see, the drawback if you put the long movement or large movement on the normal size. Because that was always my thing. It's like, I feel like the tiny size is pretty good. I think Wasp is a little bit better than Ant-Man. Wink. But it's just like, I don't know.
They're about the same. Ant-Man can place himself within 3. Ant-Man's got some stuff. Both. We'll talk about Ant-Man in a bit.
Yeah.
Both of them have 2 energy defense, and honestly, I feel like that's their biggest problem. Is just like, why are they not just 3s across the board like every other 3 costs?
Yep.
So common and can be so strong that they get blasted by Miles. It's like there's characters that just have energy, like naturally, like they'll just get 1 energy attack at least. So there's always, a lot of times at least, an option with most characters to beat these characters.
And a lot of yellow attacks are super long range too, so there's nothing they can do about it. Even if they have, if you happen to end a turn in big form, well, they can just shoot you. And I'm pretty sure their size change, it doesn't have the wording like some of those abilities where it's like, if you're no longer within range or can't be targeted, they don't get to attack. It just says they go tiny before the attack continues. So I'm pretty sure the only reason you do that is to reroll your dice. You're still getting pinged from far away. If that's not how that works, then these characters are a little better, but their yellow defense is still trash.
Before the attack continues. Yeah, it's. I think based on that wording, seeing that's the only place I've ever seen it written out like that. You can still make the attack even if it's outside of stealth range.
So I think there's stuff they can do. Their team tactics cards are pretty good, so that was nice. But again, we'll talk about Ant-Man a little bit. But she just change her yellow defense to 3, and I think she's a perfectly serviceable 3 cost.
And keep her long movement the whole time.
Yeah,
I think that's
fine. My other one is Black Bolt. He is really weak for a 5 cost, in my opinion, right now. Let me pull him up real quick, but I already came up with like the 2 things that I think they should change about him that are thematic to the character too, so they would kind of make sense. So first of all, he should be getting 2 power during the power phase, because the little fork on his head literally gathers power from the atmosphere and shoots it out. So that's where he pulls electrons from the atmosphere around him. So he should get 2 power. He should function like an Asgardian. And his anti-gravitation field should be able to be used on him or someone within 2 or 3 of him. That's it.
Yeah, because even then, I feel like it's like his healthy side, it's so weak. Like every time I've played against Inhumans, my goal is just to ignore Black Bolt. Just let him do whatever the hell he wants, and then just continue on my merry day. Because the second he flips, you're about to get whispered into oblivion, and he's not going to say sorry.
Yeah, like you leave his 5 health. That's fine. You leave his defenses. His defenses are acceptable. He just needs to be able to support the characters around him, like giving him the extra energy or extra power during every turn. Lets him abuse his leadership a little better, so he can give power to someone else and still retain one, so he can interact with objectives. And then his anti-graviton field, it's literally a field. You'd think he could make it slightly bigger than just his body and give some dice to other people.
It's approximately 6'6" tall and about like 2 feet wide. That's
Yeah,
his field.
so-
It's just for him.
Be all like this when he's.
I can't. Sorry, just for me.
My skin tight field can't help anyone else.
It wraps around my body. That's the field. Now
Yeah,
oh god.
Those are my two. That's it.
They're both very. It's simple and like it just makes sense. Black Bolt's one that it just me personally just he needs it so bad. I don't know if they looked at his leadership and was like maybe that's why they didn't say he could just get more power because you could take it from like Lockjaw or somebody. It's still just it's not there. I don't know.
He doesn't feel like a 5 cost. His leadership is really good, and I think maybe when he came out, they put a lot of stock in his leadership. Because when he came out, he probably wasn't that bad as a 5 cost. We got into the game kind of late in terms of, I got him at the beginning of last year, and he had already been out for a little while at that point. So,
and even then, people were like, "He's good," and like they just went ahead.
So he's just older. If they update him a little bit, that would be pretty cool.
You know what we can say though is Black Bolt actually made NashCon and actually was in lists, and I don't think any of these other characters were so far. Punisher was.
Yeah, Punisher made lists.
Punisher was. I'm not too sure about Ant-Man and
Wasp
Wasp though.
Ant-Man and Wasp did not make lists. I would bet almost anything that Ant-Man and Wasp didn't. If they did, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we know Inhumans did well. From what I've heard, there was that one guy.
There was one guy who played them. People probably don't know what the hell to do against them because nobody plays them.
And they're like, "Oh God!" And they were just ready
for
Malekith.
rogue option.
All right, so that was Ryan's picks. Like I said, I liked his picks. I like Nick's picks. His are just the ones, especially the real last one, because we already spoiled Ant-Man. So we're just gonna go ahead, just jump right into Ant-Man, and then Nick, I'll let you just tear off on the other guy at the end.
All right. Well, so for Ant-Man, it's kind of similar to Wasp, but when you're comparing him to Wasp, I don't know. Wasp seems better. I mean, Ant-Man moves medium to small when he gets small. He still has the 2 energy defense, which we already talked about how that's pretty weak. But he doesn't have flying. He doesn't have stealth. Oh no, he does have stealth. Sorry, he doesn't have flying. He doesn't have much of an attack outside of the Bolt Ants barrage, which is kind of expensive at 4 power. And it's a beam. Beams are good, but the thing is it's you don't always get into positions where beams are worthwhile, especially beam 3. It's sometimes hard to get that second character or more in it. But it's looking at him, he's okay as a 3. I was thinking like for Ant-Man at least, like the going tiny part doesn't seem to mean much.
He gets a 0 cost place within 3 of himself, which is solid. Yeah, I think one of his bigger problems too is his big size builder has 4 dice.
Yeah, he's just not gonna generate that much power because of it.
He may turn tiny. He doesn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, like there's some trade-offs. He doesn't need that much power because the most any of his superpowers costs is 1. He doesn't have any tech though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, the ant size uppercut when he's tiny is good, but you have to be within range 1, which is pretty close.
He can move himself, I guess, and it's just like he gets to change back forms for free. It's just like my thing is like, why would I ever bring Ant-Man? So like, let's just say he's just in Avengers, right? Why would I just bring Ant-Man when I could just bring Black Cat? Right. What is having me choose Ant-Man, right, over Black Cat?
Especially like he can't throw. He can place himself, which is decent tech, but it doesn't do anything to the opponent. He can only apply stun with his spender while big. That's the only status condition he can give.
And he's all physical attacks, so you can pair up really bad, and I don't know, just not.
I'd rather have both Black Widows on my list than Ant-Man, and I'm being serious. I'd rather have both of them at the same time. It's just like, why have
Yeah.
him when I could play Hawkeye, Black Widow? Is Vision's 4, right?
Vision's 4.
Vision's 4. Still, I'd rather play Vision. Like, it's just Black Cat, I think I just said, but still, I'll say it 5 more times. Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen. There's so many characters I just rather play than Ant-Man. And Nick, go ahead. Who's that last pick?
So the very last one is the Punisher. I know you said he showed up in that NashCon, but I don't know how well he did.
I'm
But when
not too
looking at him, he's
positive.
just so generic. I mean, his he's okay. He's fairly solid in terms of defense. He's got 6 health and everything, but his base attacks 4 damage. I know it's got rapid fire, but
Even
he's
still,
only it's only 4. I mean, if you think about it, it gives the opponent on average they have 3 defense, so it gives the opponent 6 rolls to try to block 8 potential damage at best.
yeah.
So it's okay, not great. He's only gonna gain 2 power from that, I guess. That's okay, but it's just not like his arm shot's not amazing. It's got a lot of range, but it's kind of expensive considering that he's only gonna gain 2 power from the hip fire attack, and then his other abilities are kind of expensive. Like the Spec Ops training is 2 power, the Warzone is 3.
Mm.
Warzone's a little tricky because it is an action and it's only characters within one of a terrain feature. I think there's examples that are similar that got a little more range from the terrain feature.
Yeah, Green Goblin with the even like granted, I know it his a little harder to do, like with the tricks and traps. Like I get that. Oh, granted, he also costs 4. So
Yeah,
I guess that
true.
that makes sense. So Punisher's weird, right? My biggest thing against him is he's unaffiliated. God damn it.
That's the thing. He's got nothing team tactics cards wise that's gonna be a big team booster. No more second chances. I don't know about that. I mean, sure, if you have 3 punishment tokens, you can roll 3 extra dice and have a really strong attack. But you only get those tokens if your characters get dazed and KO'd. So I guess depending on what time in the battle it is, you probably
I
don't want to
mean,
have 3 tokens like
I
that.
guess he works on Shield and Crime Syndicate, so you can have those guys get KO'd a lot. The grunts.
Yeah.
True. I guess
But
that gives him an opportunity there.
I mean, like, I'm looking
But
at his
if you
card and
daze him,
he's like,
not gonna get any. So
yeah, I'm looking at his card and like he's got the stuff to be good. Like he's got a good stat line. His spenders, I would say, above average. His builder's fine. The fact that you can do it twice, if possible, like that's cool. No more second chances would be good if you could ever reliably use it. Like Warzone and Spec Ops training are like almost good. He feels like he's almost there, but anytime any of us have tried him, he's just not done it.
So I thought of a couple things. Maybe this one's a little too. I think this one might be a little too much. But it's just like, how often are you really going to be able to utilize this? My thing is, let the no more second chances, and I know this is probably the crazy one. Let it be for the whole turn. That's my crazy thing. Just be crazy. Let him do it. If he spends the 3, let him have his stupid attacks for the whole turn. Granted, it would be a little nuts, I know, to have 7 dice twice on the one attack. I totally get that. But you still have to get to that point. You still have to get there.
I mean, even then, I mean, like
It's
right
still
now, you
range
can only
3.
use it once per turn. So you
Yes.
can't like give one punishment token to one attack and another punishment to another attack. So it's even just taking that away would make it a little more flexible, where you don't have to have your
Make it
turn really
twice.
like committed at all.
Yes. Or
Yeah.
at least make it so the next attack action, because I believe the rapid fire would still fall under that same attack action. Would it or no?
I don't know. I think they could find a way to word it so that it works for both hip fires.
Something
Yeah,
like
That would
that.
be good.
Like it, dude, something, and put him on it. Just put him on the Avengers. Who cares? He's fought with the Savage Avengers before. Whatever, count it. Who cares?
Black training should be 1 power.
Yeah,
You're
moving
moving small.
It's not like
It would be if you were playing
sure it gets
Avengers.
you like a little further, but that's the only thing he has for placement and stuff. So it's
Yeah,
like,
which I mean,
eh.
like it's a good power, but I feel like if you make Spec Ops training cost 1 and leave his card exactly the same, he becomes way better because he can move small with his first turn activation power without any help, without having to be on Avengers or on Inhumans or on some affiliation that batteries him up. He becomes at the very least capable of maybe getting to an objective with his first move and then being able to pop a hip fire off if you know maybe activate it last and like your opponent moves up and takes an objective and you're like, well, I can at least hip fire someone, maybe I get like a damage and maybe I can hit someone out, like, you know, it gives him some extra value on turn 1 because he's like the only guy with a gun whose builder is 3 range 3. So
Yeah.
I think that would be like important. I think that would be a huge change if you kept everything the same and made that 1 power. At the very least, he'd have value for placement.
Yeah, I agree. It's another one of those almost there but not quite, and right now a lot of times it just feels like why him? Like there's
Yeah.
better options, it feels like. Um yeah, because even this spender, so like I said with Miles, his spender's a 3 cost, I believe, and it's 7 die. It's only range 2, but you're making them drop all objectives they're holding. So there's a lot of value in that alone. And he's a 3 cost. He's got the web swing, which lets him move 3. So he's got
Yeah.
the movement. And then he's got wall crawler and everything, so he's not slowed by terrain. The web swing gives him extra dice on attacks. I know it all works a little differently, but it's kind of like you can almost get you can get what we're talking about out of other characters that are 3 costs, it feels like.
Yeah. I don't even hate his spender. I actually think it's pretty good. Being able to put someone in the slow special condition from 5 away is pretty strong, in my opinion, with Pierce. But you're right. Like Miles gets to place himself for what, 2 power, or is it 3?
I believe it's 2. I'll look it up right now.
You know, if he web swings for 2 and gets 2 extra dice, meanwhile Punisher has to wait for 2 of your allies to get dazed before he can give himself 2 dice
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
place himself with the same superpower.
And that's for 1 attack, by the way. So that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So it's like.
So it's like, yeah, maybe I can make armed shot hit for 10 across the map, but Miles can make his fucking builder hit for 7 dice on his first action.
It would be 6, but yeah. He
6
his
dice,
builder-
my bad. It's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
ridiculous.
And Miles has a throw with that with his builder. So like you don't have anything with Punisher's builder except him attacking again.
Especially
which
when
sometimes
Punisher
you
came
rather-
with Taskmaster, who is
Yeah.
just like, this is one of those packs like Daredevil and Elektra where one character is just so much better than the other.
And even then, back then, Punisher had a little more value because was there anybody else that had rapid fire?
I'm not
I don't
sure
think
the
so.
release
point.
order, but
Because Bucky
definitely early,
got
though.
added. He got added to him.
yeah, Bucky
Right.
has it. I don't know. The Medusa had Flurry. I don't know if she came out before or after Punisher, but
I think she was
their
after.
attack is.
I think, yeah.
They have the same attack except Flurry is just better
Oh yeah.
because her attack is 5 dice. But I don't know.
All right, but regardless, these are our picks. Obviously, they're not perfect. We definitely looked at mine, and I feel like the Wolverine, he's fine as a whole. He definitely doesn't really need one, but I just want him to do better. I just love my Wolverine boy. Spider-Man's okay. Black Bolt definitely needs one. Wasp and Ant-Man definitely need one. Punisher, in my opinion, I think he needs it the most out of all of these. So let's go ahead. You know the drill, everybody. We're going to go ahead and take another look at another painting right here. What are we looking at today?
I believe it's Hawkeye.
It is Hawkeye, and I just kind of put it up there, and It's there, dude. Looking at him, him in his sexy glory, he's looking good, man. You could definitely tell. You were getting better and better every time.
I was really proud of how his black sort of undersuit came out.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of hard to see in the picture, but it's a little more textured. I went from black to blue instead of black to gray, like I had done before. So it added a little more color dynamic to it. It's not a ton, but it's like a grayish blue instead of a gray, so it looks a little different. It's my first time doing like revealed muscle on the arms, so the cracks between his arms and stuff probably are a little too dark.
Like that?
I think his are a little deeper.
Because when you see the muscles on the model, they're defined. And
what do you mean?
Yeah, his muscles might be a little more defined than I'd like them to be, but other than that, I had a lot of fun painting him. He came out pretty good.
Well, hell yeah, man. Right on. Guys, let us know the characters that you think should be updated. Who do you think is going to get the old update and stick? Who do you think of us is crazy, out of our minds? If you think Punisher's wrong, let us know in the comments below, man. It really, truly helps us a lot. Like and subscribe, dude. Means the whole world to us. And remember, always remember, roll your crits, dudes. Peace out, everybody. We love you. Bye.